Koston throws a couple tough ones at Mike Mo, who handles the pressure flip and the switch backside big spin, even though there's blatant toe touch on defense, but that's why they call it defense. Hello, and thank you for joining another episode of Dumb Data, where we break down the numbers so you don't have to. In this breakdown, we'll take a look at the Battle at the Barracks 12 Round 1 match between icons Eric Koston and Mike Mo. Which of these two legendary flatground wizards will win? Let's take a look and dive into some data. Death blow video. Eric Koston kicks us off with a walk down memory lane, citing a battle that admittedly I hadn't known existed before. The first ever game of skate at the Barracks was the catalyst to what we now know and love as the Battle at the Barracks tournament, but more importantly was a match held in support of the late Johnny Romano, a Texas-based skater who tragically passed away from cancer much too early.
And here's the deal, if I win, Johnny Romano's coming to the park.
The battle itself was a quick but great last letter comeback match, filled with flip tricks, 360 rotation variations, and soon escalated, or deteriorated depending on your stance with pressure tricks, into the advanced circus acts like double flips and late flips. True to what Koston mentions in the death blow video, he beat Mike Mo on a switch pressure kickflip in that match, an early indicator that shouldn't surprise us today when we see the tally for most landed pressure trick variations in Battle at the Barracks. Koston has landed 13 pressure tricks, leading the offenders list, but followed very closely by Mike Mo, who's landed 11. Chris Joslin and PJ Ladd each rolled away from 5 pressure tricks throughout their time in Battle at the Barracks, and Louis Lopez and Shane O'Neill can claim 3 apiece, but no one else has landed more than 2 in Battle at the Barracks so far. As far as his death blow, Koston comes up with a choice that bummed me out, which was an impossible variation that he's never landed. The nollie back foot impossible has only been landed one time in a Battle at the Barracks match, and it was Johnny Layton in Battle at the Barracks 3 Round 1 against Danny Garcia to give him letter A. Eric Koston's never landed a nollie back foot impossible in Battle at the Barracks, and the one time he tried it, the result was a miss in his loss to Malto from Battle at the Barracks 11, so I'm not sure where his logic is coming from about relying on this trick. Impossibles are so annoying in games of skate because of the gray area with what constitutes a wrap before it's considered a tweaked out 3 shove. If Koston was going to pick any of the impossible variations against Mike Mo as a death blow, he might be better off with the fakie impossible. Koston's landed 4 fakie impossibles, 4 times more than anyone else at Battle at the Barracks, and has a perfect 100% success rate with the trick. Based on the numbers, Koston would have a much higher probability of winning with a fakie impossible against Mike Mo than a nollie backfoot impossible. But even then, Mike Mo is one of the 5 other skaters who've landed a fakie impossible in a match before, but he's 50% on the trick, which lowers his chances when you compare to Koston's 4-for-4 record. Taking the numbers to a higher level and looking at Eric Koston's history of winning death blows, there's 3 tricks that gave him 2 victories out of his 11 W's. The fakie inward heel, switch backside 360, and switch frontside heel flip have earned him a pass to the next round 2 times each. If you put these tricks against Mike Mo, the switch backside 360 might be the best choice, because Mike Mo has no record of ever doing this trick or even attempting it, and he's 0 for 2 on fakie inward heels. A complex series of emotions were felt as Mike Mo started talking about his death blow. Excitement to see him back in Battle at the Barracks was the first feeling, followed by deep respect at seeing his flawless execution of the impossible late flip. Let's look at this trick for a second. Pinching the back toe side wheels, Mike Mo lifts his front foot straight up on takeoff like we see during a normal impossible, and up to the point that the board is around halfway through an actual impossible, his back foot flips the middle of the grip tape side of the deck to complete the late flip portion. Perhaps what's most impressive about Mike Mo and this trick is his ability to catch the board like a tray flip with his front foot and get his back foot on the back bolts before the landing. This is a somewhat wise choice by Mike Mo, picking a trick that only he's landed in Battle at the Barracks, and the impossible late flip has given him 3 match victories. With 7 successful attempts out of 12 total tries, however, the impossible late flip puts Mike Mo at just over a 50% probability of landing the trick. Zooming out to a bird's eye view of Mike Mo's death blows, he has 3 winning tricks that have each won a trio of matches, and on paper, any of them would be tough for Koston to land. Mike Mo has a 61.54% success rate with the cab big flip, aka fakie gazelle flip, aka PJ Ladd's wonderful horrible life special, and Koston's never landed that trick. In fact, one of the 3 victories for Mike Mo from the cab big flip was when he beat Koston in Battle at the Barracks 4 Round 3, and this was the first time the two skaters ever went head-to-head in an actual battle until this 12th season matchup. The switch big flip is Mike Mo's third trick that's won him 3 separate battles, and compared to the cab big flip and impossible late flip, his 83.33% success rate is the highest of the trio, and Koston's only 1 for 3 with that trick. After being impressed with Mike Mo's impossible late flip, the vibe starts to get somber as he talks about how he blows his back out every time he skates due to his foot injury.
And every time I skate, I blow my back out.
Which is tough to listen to because we all know how good Mike Mo is at skating. And for him to start bringing up the injury makes you scared that we're not going to see a competitive match. The last thing we hear Mike Mo say is that it'd be fun to play one more time.
So it'd be fun to play just one more time.
Boy oh boy, isn't that the type of thing you want to hear the first ever Battle at the Barracks champion to say before watching his first match of the season. Here's hoping Mike Mo trolled us all in the Death Blow video with some mental games and will treat us to a lot of impressive flat ground against Eric Koston. Before the battle, Mike Mo points out a rule loophole that gives skaters the chance to give out letters on the same trick more than once.
Can I point out a rule flaw in here really quick, just for fun? I could do the same. It doesn't say that you can't repeat the same trick twice, right? If you suck at hard flip, I'll just do a hard flip, hard flip, hard flip. Yeah, but it's not a rule.
It's true, it's not a rule. It is
hard flip.
It is an etiquette thing. This is an unwritten rule.
The only time this has happened before was the goofy match between Mike Mo and Chris Roberts, where Chris does a second heel flip in the battle after both of them landed the trick one time. There was this other weird situation in the Battle at the Barracks 6 championship where PJ Ladd did 2 fakey laser flips in the same battle, but after he got told to do a redo by Barra, he changed the trick to a half cab inward heel and ended up winning against P-Rod. This wonky loophole will come into play later in Mike Mo and Eric Koston's match. Eric Koston wins the Rochambeau and we're ready for the battle. The battle. Being refereed by Eric Koston's son and the wacky first trick in the form of a no-pop shove, I was getting vibes reminiscent of the underwhelming Chris Cole versus Billy Marks battle. Nothing too special happens until Eric Koston's son makes him redo the offensive switch heel flip twice, an occurrence that will become more frequent as this match progresses. Koston turns over control to Mike Mo after missing the easiest of the 4 trays, a fakey 360 flip. Mike Mo has some fun with the aforementioned loophole, doing 3 consecutive nollie heel flips that Koston impressively also lands. For Mike Mo and Koston to each land 3 nollie heel flips in a row is a testament to their consistency. Mike Mo misses a switch backside flip to give over offense to Eric Koston, and we see a switch flip that looks as bad as one of my own before Koston turns over a nollie backside heel. Attempting to exploit the same trick loophole, Mike Mo misses his second attempt at an already landed varial heel flip that gave Koston the first letter of the game and turns over control again. Koston gives Mike Mo letter S on the revisited nollie backside heel flip, and then 2 more quick letters with a switch back heel and a frontside half cab kickflip. The next shenanigan of the match is when Koston sets a nollie kickflip on offense, and perfectionist Mike Mo does 2 more unnecessarily. Worrying that the match could be coming to a quick end, Mike Mo gets T on a frontside kickflip. Mike Mo has received letter T 14 times in Battle at the Barracks, and there are 5 matches before this one where he's been there faster, the quickest being that 3rd place battle in Season 6 against Shane O'Neill. Koston's death blow attempt continues the trend of skaters saying they'll do a certain trick then not doing it when the time comes. The spontaneity of guys as good as Koston and Mike Mo shows how deep their bags of tricks are, and proves that they have so many options at any given time. Only one switch laser attempt has been cited in an official match by Koston, and that was back in his 2nd round Season 6 win when he landed it on offense against Battle at the Barracks 4 champion Morgan Smith. However random the choice was, the switch laser didn't work and Mike Mo gets another chance to make a comeback against Eric Koston. Letter K arrives immediately after Koston misses Mike Mo's offensive nollie frontside 360 kickflip, proving that there's a major difference between doing an impossible correctly versus doing a tweaked 3-shove. Mike Mo shows that wrapping your foot during the entirety of the trick is, well, possible. This is where I don't really agree with the Barracks rule of wrapping an impossible on defense, because that's the whole point of defense, is getting a little extra leeway. So even though Koston's foot comes off for a microsecond and this looks way more like a semi-vertical 3-shove, it's defense, so whatever. That switch backside flip had me nervous for a second, thinking Mike Mo wouldn't get a chance to do his crazy shit. But he held on, and so did Koston. Realizing he needs to get fancy, Mike Mo's half-cab late flip, a trick that he did last season against Tom Asta, and missed one time against Seva in Season 7, gives Eric Koston letter A. Mike Mo tries what the Barracks is calling his death blow in switch stance, but this looks more like a switch tray front foot late flip. Meh, either way, Mike Mo turns it over. Koston throws a couple tough ones at Mike Mo, who handles the pressure flip and the switch backside big spin, even though there's blatant toe touch on defense, but that's why they call it defense. What follows is the most local park game of skate move ever, where both Eric Koston and Mike Mo take turns trying to land a cab flip. Before this battle, Koston was 1 for 2 on cab flips, missing the first one in the Season 4 match against Mike Mo, and the second one he landed in that previously referred Season 6 battle against Morgan Smith. For Mike Mo, he soiled his perfect 9 for 9 attempt record at cab flips in this match, going from a 100% success rate down to nearly 75%. And exiling him from the surprisingly crowded perfect cab flip record club to rank 5th overall. Let's take out anyone who's only done the trick one time, because come on, there's some rippers here who shouldn't get outshined by the one-hit wonders. Mike Mo sits at number 8 with the cab flip, beating out Chaz Ortiz and Ishad Ware, who round out the top 10. Moose has landed 8 cab flips, but has had to redo 2, and as much as I want to give him a pass on those 2 redos, the numbers don't lie, and a redo isn't quite a make, but his resume is good enough to give him a shared ranking of 4th place, alongside Chris Cole, whose 80% consistency with the trick comes from 4 successful attempts and 1 miss. Ventura County legend Tori Pudwill ranks 3rd all-time with cab flip consistency, landing 5 and missing 1. Canadian Morgan Smith has the 2nd best success rate at caballerial kickflips, clocking in 6 lands and 1 miss. Louis Lopez sneaks by the minimum 1 required successful attempt, going 2 for 2 on cab flips. Nigel Houston has landed 6 cab flips and never missed one. But believe it or not, he's tied for 3rd with Morgan Smith for the most cab flips landed. These days, it seems like you can't make a top 10 consistency list without finding Chris Joslin somewhere near the top. Joslin shares the 100% cab flip consistency rate with Louis and Nija, but bests them both with 8 total cab flips landed. Koston's declaration to stop attempting cab flips fell on deaf ears with Mike Mo, who understandably wasn't going to let this battle finish without him rolling away from a cab flip for the 10th time, more than anyone's ever done in Battle at the Barracks. Koston missed the cab flip, got letter T, and plummeted his cab flip record to the depths, having the worst ranking of anyone who's ever landed a cab flip with a 12.5% consistency rate. Whether he's pointing to his toe to indicate Mike Mo blatantly touched on offense and should have to redo the pressure heel flip, or more neutrally giving a simple indication to where he's popping to perform the trick, Koston rolls away on defense. Having a near heart attack from thinking this match would conclude on a capital offense tier illegal trick, Mike Mo brings back the nauseating half kickflip, half flip over monstrosity from last season that the Barracks doesn't even dignify with a name. Koston draws from his centuries worth of skating experience and figures out the so-called flatground trick on the spot. Getting both his feet on the board on the original death blow he called out before the battle, Mike Mo steps off the impossible late flip and causes the 14th turnover of the match. Eric Koston follows suit and busts out the nollie backfoot impossible as promised in the death blow video. Exemplifying the true spirit of a game of skate, Koston gives Mike Mo some pointers on how to do the trick. Easily the highlight of the match takes place when Mike Mo lands the trick first try, especially after confessing that this was a virgin attempt. It would be so sweet if this new learn for Mike Mo is a catalyst that sparks a new fire in him to skate more. One can only dream. Koston cools down the temperature with some flat ground fundamentals, and another sharp wave of anxiety pulses after seeing that Mike Mo unnecessarily redid a good defensive backside flip and misses it, which is confirmed by the referee. Koston goes for the death blow that ended Mike Mo in the maiden matchup that gave birth to what we now know as Battle at the Barracks, but to Koston's dismay, the 15th turnover hands Mike Mo the keys to one more shot at victory. Winding up for a switch big flip but opting for a gimme switch ollie instead, Mike Mo wisely chooses his most consistent and frequent death blow. But the switch big flip didn't want to cooperate this time, and marks the 16th turnover of the match. 16 turnovers in one battle is the second most turnovers to ever occur. Sean Malto and Chris Cookie Colburn's marathon 140 turn matchup from Season 10 Round 2 included 17 turnovers. But when you consider the turn count differential between that battle and this one between Koston and Mike Mo, the latter has a much more condensed turnover rate. Initially, this ending felt disappointing, but upon a few rewatches, Koston doesn't violate any toe or heel touching rules, and even though he skirts his board back to straight upon the landing, it looks passable enough for a successful attempt, even if it is a death blow. Recognizing that this is the same switch pressure kickflip that finished the OG battle, Mike Mo whiffs his first attempt, and then tries to sneak in a switch flip instead, but it's no use, and Koston wins on a pressure trick. Fine Flat Ground Award. The Fine Flat Ground Award in this battle goes to Mike Mo, who landed the nollie back foot impossible first try to avoid losing the battle. Witnessing anyone learn a new trick is enjoyable, and it's amplified when you get to watch a flat ground god add a wrinkle to their brain. Bummer at the Barracks Award. Apart from the melancholy vibe of this whole battle being less organized than one you'd play at the skate park, the bummer at the Barracks Award goes to all of Mike Mo's letters. Letter S was on the nollie backside heel flip. He's landed 21 of the 25 nollie back heels attempted in a match, equating to a nearly 82% consistency rate. Before this battle, Mike Mo had a perfect 11 for 11 record with switch back heels. In this battle, the trick gives him letter K. The frontside half cab kickflip is the least depressing letter Mike Mo got, seeing as he was 5 for 7 before this battle. But tears were shed when Mike Mo got letter T on a frontside kickflip, because before this match, he was 20 for 20 on that trick. Mike Mo's been one of my favorites to watch in Battle at the Barracks over the years, and his competitive nature, even after his injury when he made it to round 3 in Season 11, seemed absent from this matchup. Bummer. Consistency. In terms of successful attempt rates, this battle didn't do anybody no favors. Prior to this match, Eric Koston's consistency was 72.93%. After his win against Mike Mo, Koston's rate dropped to 72.23%. Mike Mo's consistency rate was 79.74% before this battle, and afterwards dipped to 79%. What's next for Eric Koston? Koston's victory puts him against the winner of the Shane O'Neill-Chaz Ortiz battle for the second round, and if the numbers don't lie, Shane will likely win, having beaten Koston both times they competed previously. We've still got 5 battles to complete in round 1 before everyone's spots are locked in for round 2. Considering the pace of this season getting slower and slower, the Barracks might still be finishing round 1 next year. Well, that pretty much covers the top takeaways from the Battle at the Barracks 12 Round 1 match between icons Eric Koston and Mike Mo Capaldi. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to Dumb Data, click the notification bell to stay on top of new episodes, and drop a like if you enjoyed this breakdown. See you on the next Dumb episode.